it or not. So welcome everybody to 1 Million Cups. If you are looking for 500,000 cups, that's a different room. You'll have to go over there. This is 1 million cups. And it comes from the name. We never really talk about this. It comes from the name of the theory of entrepreneurial ideas shared over 1 million cups of coffee. So we're trying to have those cups of coffee. So every time you have your coffee with us, you're helping us hit that goal. Or for you Coke addicts, Coke works too, something to drink in the morning. So if you haven't already, like us on Facebook or find us on Facebook, or you can find us on Instagram, which is the same platform. And if you would like weekly updates that have a great email coming in that kind of tell you who we're going to hear about, kind of get you pumped for the Wednesday morning event, just sign up for our email campaigns there. It's bit.ly.com or bit.ly/1MC-Seattle, and just make sure the case matters on that one. And mark your calendars. We'll be here every Wednesday morning, except for maybe Christmas morning. But even then, we'll have a screen here for you if you want. And make sure to use the app. We have a 1 Million Cups app, which is not on this page. It's exclusive. It's so exclusive underground, it's not on this page. But you can find it in the App Store of your choice. So what are we here for? We're here to share some ideas, offer help, ask for help, build community, which kind of happens between all of that, and to support each other. Again, all while drinking coffee. That's kind of one of the tenets of 1 Million Cups. And 2 points to everyone as you track through this presentation and capture all the caffeine and coffee related paraphernalia on the screen. Keep track of your own points. What kind of differentiates 1 Million Cups from other events? Well, first of all, it's free. You know, we kind of don't talk about that. And someone asked me that the other day. It's like, is this a free thing? Am I going to be charged for this? So yeah, this is just a free event. We're here because we want to be. The Kauffman Foundation offers us a kind of a structure to go off of. That's their nonprofit. That's their kind of goal. And we just come here because we like it and we like seeing everyone here. So yeah, it's a free event over coffee. There's usually free coffee when we're in person. So something to look forward to. We're here to do presentations, not pitches. Kind of the differentiator is that you're not pitching to a team of people that are going to invest in you necessarily. You're pitching to community members that have ideas for you or can learn from you as well. We're here to connect, not necessarily network. And again, we're for the community, by the community. We're just here to volunteer our time and see what everyone's working on. We have a goal of being radically and intentionally inclusive as well. So we're trying to get businesses that might not normally feel comfortable being entrepreneurs up on a virtual stage, or people that might not consider themselves entrepreneurs, to get them in the door for the first time. This is a very safe platform to do that. So we are a 1 Million Cups nation. There's communities all across the country, from the eastern seaboard to the western seaboard. And we have over 168 communities, 3,500 attendees, 700 volunteers. It's like a big community. It's pretty awesome. One of our goals are 3 new tenets or words are education, presentations, and connections. So it's kind of, if you can summarize it all down to those three words. You'll probably see that today as we go through our first presentation. So we've had over 8,000 entrepreneurs who've shared their stories and ideas at 1 Million Cups since like the beginning. I shared my idea for the first time publicly here. I know many other organizers have too. Anyone here shared at 1 Million Cups before? Their business? Yeah. All right, and if you don't have your hand up, you will have it someday because you'll be so inspired and connected and educated to do so. So do you all have all the answers and feel like you know exactly what you're doing? Awesome. The leave meeting button is at the bottom right-hand corner. If you don't, we're here to help. And it's not like we, the organizers, it's we, everyone at this meeting. So we're here to do community, right? A big special thank you to our sponsors, Seattle Strong, who provides our coffee when we get back in person again, and A Small Studio for sponsoring our meetup page. So thanks to them. These are our cool people that organized this event. All of them are here today. Most of them have their video on. And if you want your photo name up here, we'll talk about that later. Don't get too excited yet. So what to expect today? We're gonna have some coffee and conversation, or whatever beverage you want. 6-minute presentation by an entrepreneur, which sounds either long or short, depending on where you're coming from with that. And then the real juice of it, which is the Q&A, which we'll get to a little bit later. And then after that, we're gonna have a short breakout room. And how that is an opportunity to connect with people that you might not have met before, or you have met before, and discuss the presentation more, dive deeper on something. And then you're free to leave when you're done. So this is about a 1 hour event. Nice and easy, right? So without any further ado, we're gonna invite to the virtual stage Danica with Givvn. She is one of the co-founders of this awesome platform, and I enjoyed chatting with her about her ideas because it's something I don't know anything about, and that's my favorite thing to talk about. So let's bring her to the stage. I think I need to make her a co-presenter. Sorry, I didn't do that a little earlier, but big clap.
Hi. Okay, I'm co-presenter.
And I can stop sharing my screen so that you can jump on the stage.
Okay, let me share my screen here. All right, you should be able to see it now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hi everyone. It's nice to see everyone. I know we have people from all over the country. And I'm actually in Tampa, Florida myself. So it is lunchtime here. It's Coke time, not coffee time. So, but yeah, my name's Danica Hoppy and I'm co-founder and CMO of Givvn. And Givvn is a social media driven nonprofit fundraising platform. And we use artificial intelligence on our platform. So I'm not sure if you've heard, but there's this big thing happening, this pandemic, where people aren't allowed to kind of congregate and there's a social distancing thing. And unfortunately for nonprofits, they're being hit especially hard by this. A lot of nonprofits rely on in-person events like galas or runs or things of that nature. And those are usually their biggest events of the year where they get the most money. So because of this, nonprofits need an effective way to get donations online. So the problem, just kind of in statement form, is that the nonprofits need online donation collection engagement, but they're really lacking the money to pay for it, the people to execute it, and the know-how just to do it. So that's where Givvn comes in. Yay. So the Givvn platform really has 3 parts to it. Okay. And like Leaf was saying, the first part that we started and we launched with was a chatbot. And that chatbot connects to Facebook Messenger, and soon it'll connect to WhatsApp and Instagram as well, because those platforms are merging. But when we talked to nonprofits, we realized, hey, they could actually use a website as well. So we added that on the platform. So nonprofits now have access to secure, free website where they can collect donations. It's social media focused, so it integrates with platforms, analytics, etc. And then on top of that, we added a CRM. And that CRM gives nonprofits the insights into who's donating, what they're donating, how they're donating, and how to follow up with them. And that's something that Facebook donations doesn't currently give nonprofits. All right, so this is a look into the product. So we have, like I said, the 3 parts: website, chat, and CRM. So the website, nonprofits get a fully secure site. It's totally free. It's integrated already with the chatbot. They can collect those donations. They can see who's on the site. They can make all the changes, etc. And then the chat is in Facebook Messenger chat. And the CRM, like you're seeing right there, gives them insights into everything that's going on. It doesn't take any technical expertise to set this up. Like I said, we do use artificial intelligence, but there's no coding required. It just takes minutes to set up. We've had many nonprofits log onto the platform and just set it up themselves. Like, we don't even communicate with them, and it's just up and ready to go. And our tools get 10 times better engagement compared to email. So if you think of chat, like your Facebook Messenger, right? That pings maybe to your phone if you have the app on there, or, you know, as you're on Facebook, it'll ping you. And it's way better than email, because with email, maybe people check their email a few times a day or the next day, and it's a one-way conversation, whereas chat is really two-way engagement. Okay, so the business model, we have 3 plans with Givvn. We have our growth, our pro, and our enterprise plan. The growth plan is free. Nonprofits don't pay anything. They don't even pay a percentage of donations that are collected. They do have to pay the credit card processing fees. That's not something that we could get around. So essentially with the growth plan, nonprofits can get the website, chatbot, CRM completely free. But our pro plan offers additional features like custom branding, analytics, things of that nature. They can always upgrade. And then our enterprise plan has all of our features, advanced CRM, customizable features, and that's really more for the larger nonprofits that need multiple pages and have more people to communicate with. All right, so market growth, basically, there's lots of money floating out there, a lot of donations, and nonprofits need this help. It's basically what this is showing you. And I think especially right now, nonprofits aren't able to have those in-person events, and they need to be able to collect those donations. So, the nonprofit that's sitting back waiting for a check to be mailed, they're missing an opportunity when their donor base is going to, their website or going to Facebook trying to donate. They need to make that as easy as possible. Okay, so our competition. So Givvn's at the top here. Our cost is free with obviously upgrades available. And we offer donor engagement, chatbot, automation, all these things. We're exclusively for nonprofits. And we only work with registered nonprofits as well. So they have to have an EIN number. We verify that. We're not like a GoFundMe. We want donors to be able to trust the nonprofits on our platform. So our competition, we've got ManyChat, which is really a chatbot platform, but they help mostly kind of e-commerce or for-profit businesses, and they don't have, they're not exclusively for nonprofits. They don't have the website functionality. And then Donor Perfect it's expensive, $160 a month, and they don't have the chatbot. They're more of like a CRM type platform. Network for Good, again, they have engagement, they don't have the chatbot, and it's $200 or more per month. And looking at our competition, the prices are really high for nonprofits. Most nonprofits are grassroots or small size nonprofits that don't have $1 million budgets to spend thousands a year for CRMs or different platforms for that. When we actually first started, we were going after those larger nonprofits, and we realized, wait, the small ones are the ones that need the most help. They're the most underserved in the market, and they're the most out there. So it was just a no-brainer, and that's kind of how our tool developed over the years. So our traction on the left, these are some nonprofits that we have on board. We have over 40 nonprofits on currently. Late nonprofits, so these are ones that we want. So if you know any of them, give us a call. And then partners are just people we've worked with. So for example, we were in, Y Combinator on their online school. The CEO of Carvana was our mentor. We were at Synapse, which is a tech summit here. They're a good partner for us. 1 Million Cups, obviously, had to do a shout out. So these are just some of our partners. And then the team, myself, I'm, as I said, the CMO and co-founder. I really focus on the marketing, the sales, the business aspect. And then my co-founder, Matt, he's actually on the call as well. So Matt, give a wave. And he does all the product development. He built the platform. He does the artificial intelligence. He's kind of the wizard behind the curtain. So that's us. And we both have experience owning businesses before. And that's everything. This is how you can get in touch with us, our website, email, phone, if you really want to talk to one of us. And just, we're really looking for nonprofits that are looking for websites or chatbots, or the consultants that are helping nonprofits that can really use our tool. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Danica. That was wonderful. I know everyone's got a lot of questions to throw out there, so I just want to do a quick primer on questions as we transition to the Q&A. First of all, you can raise your hand if you'd like. That's one way to get a question in there, which you can do physically, but also on the, if you click on participants, you can click raise hand on that tab over there. You can also type a question into the comments. And if you don't have any questions, I challenge you to come up with the questions. Part of this exercise is to think of what you would ask an entrepreneur and learn how to talk about business ideas. So first hand we're going to shoot over to Danica is Ben.
Okay.
Great presentation. I really love it. I'm just curious, whose responsibility is it, or who is in charge of bringing eyeballs to their webpage that you've built in order to get the charity donations?
Yeah, it's a good question. That's really up to the nonprofit to do. So they can, the website is theirs. So say, for example, you're a new nonprofit. You just registered, you got your EIN. You can use our platform to create your website, to create your donation page, to create your chatbot. But really it's up to them to get people to go to it. And they can do different things. Like, I like to describe our platform as a set of tools, and every nonprofit uses those tools slightly differently. So a nonprofit can put out ads on Facebook and get people to communicate with the chatbot, or, they could send an email out and then the link to the website and that get donated that way.
I have two more that I want to ask built on that, if that's all right. The first is it possible to use some of your stuff but not the other stuff? Like if the Breast Cancer Foundation or National Breast Cancer Foundation has a great website, so they don't need that, but they want the other stuff. Is that possible?
Yeah, 100%. So when I say website, it's really a landing page or a home page and a donation page. Those are the two main that you get. So some nonprofits will use those as campaign-based landing pages and donation pages. So say, a nonprofit wants to do a specific campaign or fundraiser, they can use these pages as standalone and then connect the chatbot and then once there's a new campaign, switch it all up. So completely. Some nonprofits also may just use the website. They don't have to turn on the chatbot, or they could just turn on the chatbot and not use the website. Definitely.
I'm going to do one more. Right. Do you have any statistics or numbers for what a nonprofit is taking in on their own versus using your system?
So the interesting part of that is if a nonprofit wasn't on Facebook prior to using Givvn, it's really an untapped demographic for them. So that's, found money in a way. We have had a nonprofit who had an in-person event, and previously they just had cards on the table and you write a check and you put it in the card, right? And that was their big event of the year. Well, they used Givvn and use a QR code, a link, so people were able to donate right in the chatbot, learn about the mission, got the receipt right away. And Matt, you can correct me if my numbers are a little off with this, but through that one event, they got 40% more donations than they received the previous year. So so it's kind of more of like, if you think about it, it's like kind of found money, right? It's people that are more tech savvy, that are on social media or that are online and are more comfortable donating that way. It gives them that opportunity. So it's really hard to say, okay, well, they did this and then, this is.
I think that could be a really good case use for, especially if you want to get somebody like Habitat for Humanity, which of course has a Facebook presence. And they, of course, have an IG and Instagram. So if you could show them, well, you're doing really great, but you could do even better because we have all this artificial intelligence, and then give them numbers. I could see them going, heck yes, let me go to your system. Just a thought.
Yeah, definitely. And we're trying to build up those case studies. So our initial focus was getting many different nonprofits on board, right? So schools, puppy rescues, things, so we could really build a tool that's applicable to all of them. But yeah, the case studies are super important, and we're still working on building those out.
Great. Well, thank you.
Thanks for your question, Ben. Questions, Ben.
I know, right?
It's great. It looks like Katie had her hand up next. She'd be making out just barely.
Hello. I am curious, Danica, about so you've got these 3 different levels of plans. So would that enterprise plan be more for those bigger corporations like Habitat for Humanity? And so those 3 kind of map to the size of the nonprofit? That's one of my questions.
Sure. So it can. Really, the growth plan is the entry-level plan, for nonprofits that maybe you've just started, aren't getting donations, or don't have the money to pay for something. So it allows them to get on the platform, get those tools, start getting donations, and then hopefully they want to get more. They want more analytics, they want more pages, and then they can upgrade. And the enterprise is maybe for the nonprofits that, are a little bit more established or have seen some success and need additional pages, need a more customized chatbot, things of that nature, maybe have a more built out audience, have more subscribers.
Next question we got is from Megan.
Hi, Danica. This is a great tool. I work for a nonprofit, and so we've been exploring various ways to deal with the no longer having giant meetings and luncheons, and how do we still raise the money that we need. So I guess I have possibly two questions. One is that, are there any organizations that this wouldn't work for, like in terms of either size or just the type of work that the nonprofit is doing, or like you really need like a tech person to run this thing, or something that would maybe not work very well with this particular platform? My first question.
That's a really good question. I'm trying to think so like if a nonprofit, what we found is nonprofits who say either don't have a Facebook page or aren't active on the Facebook page, they're not going to see as much success as ones that are.
Okay.
Right? So I think that, a nonprofit still needs to put effort into it. It's not like a set it and forget it. It's to maximize the efforts that you're putting out there, right? So the chatbot can communicate 24/7 with donors and volunteers and get signups and get donations and send receipts, but you've got to do a little bit of work. It like maximizes that effort. So if the nonprofit doesn't have a Facebook page, isn't really putting effort into it, it's not going to be as effective. Also, I think that if it's kind of more of the effort.
Okay.
If a nonprofit's like, okay, we're going to use it's a tool, you've got to use it. So if a nonprofit doesn't have a little bit of time, I don't think it's going to be super effective.
Sure. Okay. And then my other question is, how does, it was sort of, how does one sign up, but does it work better because my nonprofit works where there's like a whole team of resource development. So would it work better if there's like one person that's managing the like Givvn, or is it a tool that like multiple people can hop in and use, and does it work either way, both ways?
Yeah, it's kind of, think of like a Facebook page. Multiple people can get on and make changes.
Okay.
It's the same with Givvn. So there's a platform, and the account is based on your Facebook page, right? So as long as you have admin access, or whoever has admin access to your Facebook page can log into the Givvn account and make changes to that chatbot. So, you don't, obviously, if you have admin access already to a Facebook page, you trust that person.
Right.
Yeah, so multiple people can be in there, they can make any kind of changes, and then also they can make changes to the website as well, view the CRM, have full access.
Cool.
Yep.
Thank you.
Cool, thanks.
Great question, Megan. As you hear that, I'm actually I can't raise my hand, unfortunately, so I'm gonna steal the questioning spotlight for a second. So Danica, I get this picture that like a lot of nonprofits might see your platform as a first time to kind of get more online presence, right? And be like, jump into that, more of a starting point. Is that kind of true? Does that feel right?
Yeah, we're trying to help those, because like how I said, how our path went, we first built the chatbot, and then once we started giving that to nonprofits, they were like, oh wait, our website isn't secure, or we don't know the password to it because my cousin's friend built it for me, or multiple kind of tech problems, because a lot of the smaller nonprofits don't have a big team. They don't have a developer on staff. that's where we built the website. And it was easier for us to build a website builder than to help every nonprofit with their website problem. So that's how that developed. So we did that to enable them to use the chatbot. You know, it's kind of that whole path. But yeah, I think that the nonprofits, the smaller nonprofits, are the ones that need the most help. And those are the ones that we're hoping to help with this. You know, the ones that can't afford the website or can't afford these expensive CRM tools, but really need to get donations and get online and get a presence. You'd be surprised how many nonprofits we've met who don't even have a website, who have no way to get donations online, who are struggling just in that regard. And we don't think that that should be an issue for nonprofits.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's why I was wondering, is in that similar vein, I feel like you have a good opportunity here, assuming you want more people on your platform. That's a big assumption, right? Is that I see a lot on your website is like how the chatbot works, like how to the FAQ and like the pricing and what we're about and stuff like that, but not really any content for like educating people on best practices or like, hey, if you're a nonprofit, here's your top 10 you need to do. Here's your top 13 if you're going to do this pivot or whatever, or getting online for the first time, watch out for these pitfalls. And, you know, with that kind of content marketing, like I always find myself on web pages because I was asking a question into Google and then I was like, oh, and they solve it. And oh my gosh, they are free for the first year. And like, I think that is, I don't see, unless I'm mistaken, I don't see that anywhere on your site right now. And I bet since you two are like the experts in this specific niche of like nonprofits, moving online, chatbots, what is our white paper that we can just throw up on the internet?
Sure. So we do have some of that information in our blog, but it's buried on the site because it's more of a inbound kind of strategy. Like you're saying it's for nonprofits that are asking questions to then find us. The content does definitely need to be built out. But what we've done is that when nonprofits get onto our platform, it's opinionated. So it's not like nonprofits are just let loose, like figure this out yourself. Like we give them examples of, okay, your mission should go here. This is where you put an image. This is the size of your image. This is what kind of image works the best. So it's an opinionated platform where, you know, there's not a lot of kind of guesswork in it. And it's like impossible to break, you know? So in that regard, we try to make it on the platform so nonprofits can just have it there at their fingertips. But I agree with you. I think that building out the content, answering those questions are important. And that's something that we're, you know, working on.
Okay, yeah, I think I love exactly what you said. I think that'd be great to spotlight more of like, hey, you can't really mess this up. There's help along the way.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think Eric had his hand up next.
Hi, Danica.
Hi.
That was great. Thanks so much. I really enjoyed that, and I thought the presentation was really smooth, so fantastic. My question is, I didn't notice you talking about any of the statistics of how you improve the nonprofits fundraising. So do you have any like case studies that you can share or stats saying, you know, compared to this year and that year when they used our product, they had a 17% increase or a 24% increase or a 193% increase, something like that, which would really make me go, all right, this is worth my time and effort so that I know that we're going to get a return on investment for this time.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a really great question. And let me pull this up just to make sure I don't mess up the statistics. But the one that I referenced earlier, it was a nonprofit that helped individuals with eyesight, like surgeries and things of that nature. And they did an event. It was an in-person event, but they used Givvn to you know, get people to understand more about the mission, to donate in the chatbot. They would get the receipt back. And they said that the online donations received during that event when they used Givvn exceeded all online donations received the previous year. So it was beyond that. And also the donations through our platform were almost 40% of all donations received that evening. So, you know, versus whenever they just did paper checks. So people got to the event and, you know, maybe if they would only accept paper checks, people would say, oh, well, I can't give, you know, or I'll do it later, and then they forget. But this really took that excuse away or that barrier away for those nonprofits. But again, this was an in-person event where they used the tool. So every nonprofit's kind of using it differently. But these are case studies that we're working on building out. Yeah, thank you.
All right, we've got a texted in question from one Mr. Jones. Can nonprofits that use Facebook's Messenger ads with your platform? ?
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you know something about Facebook ads, this is really my space because I'm a digital marketer by trade. With Facebook, you can do quite a few things. You could put ads out for your nonprofit, and you can make the call to action, the CTA, the button, like click to Messenger. And then whenever they click to that and they click into your chat, they sign up, so they get all the messages and they can communicate and find out for whatever event. So say, for example, you've got a puppy yoga event coming up, right? Let's just say, for example, everyone loves puppies. And you put an ad out, hey, puppy yoga coming, but you don't have 24 hours a day to respond to people and answer questions. Well, the call to action can be click to Messenger. Once they get into that, oh, Katie's, I want puppy yoga. I know, me too. So whenever they click into the Messenger, it can give information. You can send pictures, you can send videos. Everything you do in Messenger now, you can program through the chatbot. You can even get donations. You can give them map coordinates. All of these things can be done. You can send them a reminder. Hey, yeah, puppy yoga is coming up. And then you also know that they sign up for puppy yoga. So the next time you can target them on Facebook with another ad and say, hey, saw you liked puppy yoga, we have another event coming up. So you could do things like that. You can also do ads in Messenger to people. So basically with Messenger, the way functionally to think about it is that your Messenger, every business page Messenger has a link. And that link, you can do anything that you would with a link. So you can put it in an ad, you can put it in an email, you can share it out. And then that takes users directly to your chatbot where they're communicating. Another important thing, just while we're on the topic, with the Facebook Messenger chat for a business page, once a user clicks on it, they opt in. So they're giving you some information, not a whole lot, but some information, and you're then able to communicate back with them. So, and then they go into the CRM of Givvn, where if anybody has a nonprofit and accepted donations on Facebook, Facebook doesn't give you the information. Like, you don't know who's donating. You don't have insights into that, but we give you those insights.
That insight part's really, for me, I work with CRM, so that's a big deal for me. The rest of the question from Ryan was, an interesting case study could be like $250 on Facebook ads without our platform return this amount, and then $250 with Facebook Messenger ads return like 3 times that, or something like that. And if that works, if that is a thing that's true, like a case study, say like with our platform, it helps actually convert these ads into donations, is maybe a step-by-step tutorial for making Messenger ads for your clients. Just another bit of content.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, because we've been struggling with that, of just like how to compare. It's like what I was saying earlier, it's found money, right? It's a new audience. So if a nonprofit really hasn't been using Facebook or hasn't been using it effectively, there's all these donors, all these volunteers, this new audience for them. So I really like that idea, Ryan. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, next question is Katie.
So going off of, I think there's a lot of really interesting questions about like the business, but I think in terms of like kind of thinking about kind of Megan's question, or I've got a couple of nonprofits that like I'm a volunteer for that like I would be interested in like sending your way. But I think that if I put myself in the shoes of a nonprofit who is probably terrified of technology, and also probably terrified of like being sleazy, right? Like they don't want to be like doing stuff that is like gnarly or whatever, like, or, capturing people's data that they don't want to do, right? Like, I think that kind of message of like, how can they feel good about like using a platform like yours? Well, let's not say like yours, using your platform, that like, what would that funnel be like for their donors, right? So they don't feel like they're just like spamming people. So they don't feel like they're, yeah, I don't know if Megan, you have anything else to add about like what a nonprofit might be thinking, but those are some thoughts that come to mind for me based on my experience in nonprofits that I've worked in.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
technology. We relate to that.
Yeah, so I think that's a great question. I think there are kind of two parts to that. One is the fear of tech. And that's really why we created this platform, to be opinionated, to give nonprofits the like direction of what to say, how to say it, when to say it. And then also it's just unbreakable. So with a regular website, if you try to do it yourself, you've got to drop, Google Analytics code in your header or install a plugin. With our platform, it says Google Analytics, and then you just put your number in a box. You can't break it. So we've made things just so simple to do, to where, and people get on our platform. I added a screenshot in the presentation, but they get on there like, oh, wow, this is really, it's nice looking. It doesn't look like Craigslist. It's like, nice UX, UI, everything like that. So, we've gotten really good feedback, and that's been important to us because many of the nonprofits we've worked with aren't tech experts. So it's built for everybody to be able to use and understand. And then the second part of your question was with nonprofits kind of feeling sleazy or that type of thing. And I think that that's definitely a fear of many nonprofits that we've talked to in general, right? So, are we communicating too much? Are we sending? But I think any channel, you could overdo it, right? You could send out too many mailers. You can text too much, things like that. And I think that, it's a balancing act, but you've got to think the donors that actually support your organization and want to support you are happy to hear from you. Like, they want to hear what you're doing. But I think that it's about making that message relevant and giving information, right? Like, this is what we're doing. This is how your donation's been helping. Thank you for your donation. I think the spamminess really comes from just an ask and ask and ask. Really, when you can share a mission or provide some kind of value, it's about how you share that message. And that's why we're really trying to partner with consultants and digital agencies that help nonprofits with that, to say like, okay, well, if you're struggling with how to say this or what to say, then work with this partner. But I will say also, we've talked to a lot of donors, and they've said, this is great because it saves nonprofits money. So every donor wants their money to go farther, to be more effective. And whenever donors find out, oh yeah, Givvn allows nonprofits to have a free website, that means that we're not paying for that website, we're paying for the cause. More money is going towards that cause. Donors are on board. And I think it's a great idea for nonprofits to tell donors that, to say, hey, we're using Givvn. By the way, this chatbot is saving you X amount of dollars because this is one less staff member that we've got to pay, or this is one less technology we've got to, put the bill for.
Yeah, I think that sounds really awesome. I think that for nonprofits who might be skeptical, having like a little bit of that story, maybe showing them more of the product itself or seeing the chats, I think probably would help them realize that it's more than just what we described at one point of like, donate, right? Like when I hear chatbot and I don't know, and I haven't interacted with it, I think that's where my brain instantly goes. And I bet I'm not alone in that feeling, so.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, nonprofits want that personalized, or want to have that personalized relationship with donors. And the chat, I don't think that'll ever go away, but a chat bot is to help facilitate that, is to fill in the missing pieces. When, say, I don't know, the weekends, maybe you don't want to work. The chatbot can help answer these questions, or sell tickets, or give directions, or things of that nature, kind of those routine questions. Yeah.
Weekends when we don't want to work. I think I can get behind that very easily. I'm sure others can as well.
Can I just ask one thing, Danica? I didn't know until you said it that you're a digital marketing expert. Why wouldn't you add that to your list of things you could do for those nonprofits as another income stream? I got to tell you, I know nothing about marketing, and the learning curve for somebody like me is tremendous. I could spend weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I had to hire somebody. I'm just wondering why you wouldn't put that in your toolbox, because I can't imagine them not wanting to pay an extra something around a month for that.
So although I'm a digital marketer, I have a digital agency that helps for profit. Just a bit of background on me. Like, I've helped for-profit organizations for 13 years.
Mhm.
7 of those focusing in digital marketing. And I love it. It's service-based. With Givvn, we're building a tool for nonprofits and digital agencies to use. So I really fall in that in between the tool and the digital agency,
Mhm.
or the tool and the nonprofit. But it's really to facilitate them understanding the tool, but we don't want to be the tool and the service, if that
I
makes
see.
sense. Like, we don't want to be
Yeah.
the service provider, but it does give the opportunity for digital agencies that work with nonprofits to use this tool, to go, and I can, have those in-depth conversations of, wow, you can help your clients get more donations and do more fundraising and things like that. So I can have the conversations, but we don't want to do everything. We want to focus on building the tools.
That makes sense.
All right. Eric snuck his hand in there. Final question. Let it out.
Okay, so Danica, what you just said was really interesting, and I saw a pathway that you can utilize your social marketing skills to boost Givvn, and that is make that what you give on your blog. Start sharing your expertise and skills on digital marketing on your blog to draw customers into. They're going to ask the question, like Leif said, they're going to go and say, how do I do social marketing for a nonprofit? If you have the right SEOs going, they're going to come to your blog and find out about Givvn that way. So I would say that's a pathway for you that really seems wide open, where you can be like a knowledge expert for those who want to do it on their own, or then use your platform.
Yeah, great. I think it's a great idea. I think a bit of it as a 2-person kind of startup, there's always this challenge of what to do, because there's always a super long list. So only so many hours in the day. But I agree with you. I think that would be amazing to be able to do that. We're focused right now on partnering with the agencies that can then so if we train, so just to conceptualize, like if we train one digital agency that has 20 nonprofits, that's way easier than training 20 nonprofits on our tool and working with them. So although I see what you're saying with the SEO, I think that's super important. Obviously, I'm a digital marketer, but we're focused on like making the tool effective and working with those nonprofits. And I'll be honest, like we have 40 nonprofits on the platform, but I wouldn't say 100% that we have product market fit yet, because every nonprofit uses it differently. There isn't like this enormous pain point that people come to us on fire, like, help me, and there's just, because it's this tool that can be used in so many different ways, we haven't found that one way that's like so effective, right? So I guess I'm like nervous to kind of go down that path, and I don't want to be the consultant for nonprofits. So I feel like if I start sharing this information, then it's like I'm the consultant, then it's like one step away from, hey, can you set up my campaign for me? Or hey, can you do, we don't know how to do this. Can you train us? So I think that's a really, precarious position to be in if we start kind of doing that. But
Fair enough.
I will take the advice into consideration.
Yeah, and online today is Ryan from Pretzel PPC. He might be someone that your nonprofits could possibly use to do some of this some of this marketing.
Yeah. Oh, and if we partnered with a digital agency that focused in nonprofits, like they could do the webinars, they could be that person, they could publish on our website. We could totally support them in that. But we don't want to be looked as the service provider, if that makes sense.
Fair enough. Ryan, you're listening? There's a possibility for you there, big guy.
Interesting question. I really like the insight at the end, just realizing where you're not going to go. I think that's such an important and challenging part as entrepreneurs is we're not those people. Then maybe we'll know those people or can provide them. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our next slide. Thank you everyone for your questions and insights and all the questions you didn't ask that you wrote down on your sticky notes. So we're going to ask the final question, the big question, which is to Danica, what can the 1 Million Cups community do for you?
Yeah, definitely. Well, you can follow us on social media, share us, like share our, post, things like that. And then just if you know of any nonprofits that can use a website or chatbot, send them our way. We would really, really appreciate that.
Awesome. Sure can. And then what can everyone else do for the 1 Million Cups community? You are asking yourselves without realizing. Well, you can bring a friend next week, and they don't have to be a friend. They can be a enemy, I suppose. That's what this community is all about. The more people here we have with sharing ideas, the better it'll be. And if you wanted to present, you certainly can. These are the requirements to present. Not that many requirements, a low bar of you need to be trying something new, you need to be willing to ask for help, and you want to learn by doing. A great place to start for the first time and talk about it, and you can apply at that website right on down there. If you don't have it, if you still have questions about it and you're not sure, you can still apply. Doesn't mean you have to present. It just means you want to start the process of talking about it. That's all. We also, if you want to get a little bit more involved and you want to improve a business skill by volunteering as an organizer, this is the place to do so. I think right now we're looking for someone specifically for Instagram, maybe some recruiting. If that's at all interesting to you, send over a message, an email, and say, hey, I might be potentially interested. It's a great place to practice or learn to do better at it. We're going to move into some breakout rooms really quick. And these are just a little cap off for the last bit of our hour. You're going to connect 1, 2, 3, depending on how many people there are. And if you have video and can turn it on, do so. And this is a place to continue conversations, go deeper on an idea, kind of maybe talk about what you learned, practice talking about your business, asking people about their businesses, meet someone new. And then you have free pass to go when you need. I know we all have busy days here. But I want to thank Danica and Matt for coming on to talk about their awesome company, Givvn. Appreciate it. And we'll see you all here next week, Wednesday, 9 a.m. And I'm going to start the breakout rooms here, and you'll see a little thing that says, hey, you can come into the room now, and you can join it and leave when you need to. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.